You'll be fine. I'm sure you will.
Making it up as we
It's
go.
going right back to.
I understand.
So just don't touch.
We're going.
Touch it. Breathe on it.
Since yesterday,
Don't look at it.
walking back from the big.
Please don't look at it.
We're live.
Looky there.
The real thing.
It is. There you go.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
You good?
I'm good. You good?
Let's do it. All right. Hey, this is Wicked Spursy, Mike, Steve, and Dave, live and in person. We are coming to you from the beautiful Mike Estate in Georgia/Milton, Vermont. And we've got a bustling studio audience with us this evening. So we are excited about talking about our Spurs. But let's get started first with Mike as the host. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. It's been a pretty good week. First thing I thought about the weather today was that we were going to have to do this in the garage and have the entire party in the garage. And now that I'm looking around, there's actual people in here. There's no way we may be able to have the entire party in this garage.
You know what they call that in English?
What's that?
Garage.
A garage.
Yeah, garage.
Well, we're not in England. Thank God, because it looked pretty fucking rainy there today. So other than that, work has been good for the weekend. I think that I think we're gonna have a fun pod today.
Likewise. Stevie, how you doing?
Well, you know me, constantly pessimistic, very cynical. Skies falling all the time, the usual.
Typical Saturday.
No, but seriously, I'm doing great. I on a whim signed up to coach rec soccer, which starts on Monday. So
That sounds like a bad decision, but
we'll see. I've got a team of third and fourth graders that I'm going to try to instill some knowledge and wisdom on, and most importantly, try not to swear at.
How big is that team? Like how many kids do you
I
have?
have 12 kids on the
All right.
team.
So at least most people are playing at all times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not the kids I'm worried about. It's the parents, of course.
And if two kids don't show up, you can't field a full squad.
No, it's 77. I
Oh,
would
it's
need
77.
need 6 kids to not show up to kind of lose out. But
which is saying all that. So
I'll just throw a penny on, stand in goal, and I'm sure nobody will notice. But no, it should be a fun time. I'm really looking forward to getting that started. Just to scratch that soccer itch during the week. I don't have to wait for Spurs to play to really enjoy things. And since they're not in Europe for whatever reason, Conte, now I have something to do during the week. So that's
Right.
fun.
Very good. And hey, related to our host, Mike, want to point out wonderful gifts from our favorite Wicked Spursy Mike, available on the Wicked Spursy web store. Mike will give you that link later, right?
I'm sure he will.
We don't have one. That's the thing.
Coming soon on the Wicked
Yeah,
Spursy
coming-
web store.
Going through, I've learned from another podcast that we love to listen to that it is the bane of the existence of everybody
To
who
sell merch?
has a merch site. So no,
Don't offer merch is what you're saying.
don't offer merch, but there will be Wicked Spursy t-shirts for our Arsenal fans out there. So
Thanks. Do we have a t-shirt cannon we could use for that?
in fact, we do. It's actually a 12
Close range.
It's a 12. It's a 12 gauge shotgun.
A good spread.
There we go.
All right, let's talk the football a little bit. Early match this morning. 2-0 result. Mike, what'd you see? What'd you like?
First thing I really loved was the lineup. It didn't change. I think that
Surprising.
success, right? Yeah, riding off the success of Man U, seeing Pedro Porro get another shot out there. I think that he had a fantastic second half last week. His first half was kind of shaky, and he kind of bedded in, and he found his space to work around. Now the thing with Porro though that we know is that he's not best defender. So
Shocking everybody in the audience.
going forward, he's a menace. He puts in hundreds of crosses. He's deadly accurate from distance. But on defense, he can be a liability, and I think that him working through whatever issues that he had last week and getting back into the lineup this week was a big deal, because it kind of solidifies that back four now. So that was the first thing I saw. Second thing I saw was that Sonny's got pace back, right?
Mhm.
He's got, well, not necessarily pace, but he's got acceleration back. That's a big deal. He affects the game in that way. And then the third thing I saw was that Dan Kulisevsky. Yeah, man.
Dan.
Danny boy. He came back from that injury last year, had a terrible season. A lot of doubters this year, and I think that he's kind of working his way back from that injury, and I think it's going to be it's going to be a big plus for Spurs going forward.
All right, I like it. Steve, talk about Richarlison a little bit, if you would, before you get to your overall analysis.
Okay.
I'd like to hear about Richarlison. What do you think?
What do I think?
Naysayers in the crowd here.
With good reason, right? I mean, the dude's stuck in his head. His body language as that game wore on was just abysmal. It looked like every single chance that did not fall his way, he was beating himself up over. It's not a healthy mindset to have as a professional athlete. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe this talk about Kane is weighing him down. Maybe, there's something else going on in his personal life. Who knows? But he needs to see like a sports psychologist or something. This dude is just, it's not that he's not trying, because he is. He gets out there, he puts his head down, he tries, but when it doesn't work, he just beats himself up so much that he just becomes a hindrance to the team. And we saw that early in the second half where he made that really stupid foul to pick up his yellow card. Like, Dave, I think it was you who said it was like a 6-year-old foul, like, somebody who's just petulant.
Just petulant, swiping out.
It was stupid. And it was at that point where I think everybody was collectively just like, all right, he needs to come off. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all for giving him time to bed in and figure out the system and really build that rapport with his team. But when you're doing shit that puts your team at a massive disadvantage, you gotta get off the field. And Ange, he recognized that, he saw that, he made that change.
And so he comes off, Sonny goes central, Perisic comes in. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Well, Perisic is like, he's another one. He's a man revived under Ange. I'm starting to think it's not the players, it's Conte.
Dude, okay. First of all, it's not necessarily Conte.
It was Conte.
It's how Conte was using him.
He was a dick.
No, he still is a dick. He still is a dick, but here's the deal. Conte was using Perisic as a wing back. First of all, okay, he can't defend. We know that. I mean, that's why he was, kind of cast off at the end of last season. He can't defend. The thing is that when he plays on his national team, he is a forward. He's a winger. He's, we can use him as the most valuable asset as off the bench, probably out of most teams in the league, because he has that experience and he has pace and he has speed and he can whip it across.
He's a skilled veteran impact sub.
He plays a wing. He plays an actual wing position, which is great for Postecoglou's system.
Yeah, but the problem with Conte was he had all these square pegs and he kept trying to fit them into these round holes. And now that Ange is putting them in positions that suit them and honestly giving them kind of full reign to express themselves, now we're seeing players who looked like garbage last season shine. I mean, look at Basuma. People think he's a brand new signing. It's because Conte never used the guy. Like he was playing this absolutely abysmal system that suited nobody except honestly Kane, but that's a whole other thing.
What is it about a feel good coach that gets Basuma going? I mean, Graham Potter was a feel good coach, I mean,
I don't know that it's necessarily
tuned into his guys.
Maybe both.
I don't know that it's necessarily that he's a feel good coach as it is that he believes in what he's doing. He goes out there, he believes in his players. There was a quote, I forget who it came from, but one of the players this week basically came out and said, Ange, he basically said, like, if this blows back, it blows back on me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that kind of gave them license to go out there and play. Right. Like he wasn't saying, if things go wrong, I'm going to throw you under the bus. It was, if things go wrong, I'm the guy who's in the hot seat, not you guys. So To me, that's good man management. Like
It's a
that's him
complete
building a team.
antithesis to our previous two matches.
Absolutely. I mean, Conte had his infamous blow up in his press conference where he was throwing everybody and their mother under the bus. Now we've got the exact opposite where he's like, yeah, go out. This is how we're going to play. If it doesn't work, that's my fault.
Puts a smile on your face, doesn't it?
It really does. It doesn't hurt that he's just a good person. You know, I have not heard a single person say anything bad about Ange, whether they're fans of Spurs, direct rivals. You know, people can shit on Spurs all they want, but it usually comes back to, well, at least Ange is a good person.
But they'll still shit on Spurs for the usual reasons.
Well, and you know, you can't really blame them. I mean, what's the first thing I said?
Our trophy cabinet's about as empty as my beer mug right now.
Well, yeah,
Actually, we
but
win a trophy preseason.
we
Oh, we
did
did,
win
we
a
did.
preseason trophy.
We also have an
That's
Audi
true.
Cup too, so.
Have an Audi Cup from 2019.
But look, like we're having
Runners-up medals from 2019.
we're sitting here at a barbecue to celebrate, you know, Wicked Spursy and all of that stuff. And the first thing that comes to mind is it's gonna fucking rain. Like the second everybody gets here and we start to have a good time, the sky's gonna open up, thunder and lightning, Zeus is gonna smite your house. I mean, like that is the Spurs mindset. And it's really hard to undo that. But you know, we're 3 games into the season and I feel, dare I say it, optimistic.
And if Jimmy doesn't watch out, that kayak's gonna drop right onto his head.
You know what I say? At least we're not Liverpool. right?
That's true, that's true, that's true.
What are you guys doing Wednesday?
Bring up a cup game.
True, that's so true.
That's Tuesday.
Oh, damn, dude. Recovering from an FA Cup game.
Um,
Hey, Mike, if you're Conte sitting in Naples or wherever he's counting his money right now, you look at this squad. What do you, Antonio Conte, think about this squad, and what they're doing right now?
I don't think he thinks much about it. I don't think he liked being here or there. I don't think that he felt supported by the club and Daniel Levy. Even though all these players that he had are actually working well in a different system. So as far as I'm concerned, he was buying fucking players for Postecoglou.
Postecoglou.
I gotta do it just because it's me, but have you guys seen the episode of The Simpsons where they do their film festival?
No.
There's a bit where you know, their guest star for the episode is interviewing Rainier Wolfcastle, the big Arnold Schwarzenegger clone, about his shitty movie that's coming out. And the guy makes his comment like, how do you sleep at night? And he goes, on a pile of money with many beautiful women.
Yeah.
That's Conte in this situation.
Conte,
Like,
yes.
And
what
he's
does
not a
he think
handsome
about the
dude.
team?
He's not a
he
handsome dude.
doesn't care.
He's moved on.
He's got his money. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, it was never about it. But you could see Ange, he's a different kind of guy. He believes in himself, he believes in the team and what he's doing. And that's why we're getting results.
It's what Jason said last week is like the confidence is what we like, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a shout out. He's in the audience right now. Our
It is.
special guest.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jason, we granted you special guest status too. Just want you to know.
Mike didn't
I
want
just asked if he
he
was.
wanted to just
Yeah,
say
if
yeah.
he was special.
Tried to downgrade, we kept you up.
Appreciate you guys.
So at least the heroes of this podcast has got your back. I know what Mike's doing over there.
I know. I said he could be special.
The voting
Hey.
2/3 got you covered.
Get Ernest though.
Mike, as you look ahead, as we mentioned, a cup match coming up this week, and then next weekend is, why is it escaping me? Burnley next weekend, right?
Burnley.
What are you thinking about as you look ahead?
Turf Moor is really, really fucking hard place to play. Always is. It's been the undoing of Spurs managers. It has been the undoing of Spurs teams. That 2019 team that went to the Champions League final. I think that was the
when-
final game of the season.
Was that when Hugo got injured and Pochettino fell apart? Was that Burnley?
that got Pochettino fired. So I mean, I'm honestly more worried about Fulham on Tuesday.
I'm not. It's the Mickey Mouse Cup. Who cares?
Fuck to care about, but it's
I mean,
I'm sure it's a lovely energy.
Spoken like someone who hasn't won it in
Yeah, I've never,
Well,
Podium, that's all it is. It's
I've never won anything. Actually, we did, oh, Jimmy wasn't there for it, but we did some trivia at Vivid one time. Some Vermont Green trivia, and I won a lot of shit. Lot of shit.
it was rigged.
It was, oh, I had Dan Versace on my team, so like, yeah, it was definitely.
Speaking of Vivid, have you been back to talk to your fish guy after last week? You're gonna ask him what he was
Yeah.
thinking. all
Oh,
that?
Mike Gordon?
Yeah.
No.
Still not.
Yeah, okay.
We'll believe him when we see it.
No, dude, I told you, I am bigger than him. I big timed him. He waved at me and I said,
Look,
Hey,
I
Mike,
know
walked out.
nothing about Mike Gordon, but you are not bigger than Mike Gordon.
no, it's true. I'm larger than Mike Gordon. I'm just not bigger than him.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so looking ahead, sorry. I just-
Yeah, no, I think Burnley's a tough matchup. I mean, anytime you go on a turf more, you're gonna expect, like, Burnley's gonna come in. They have a new coach. They're coming up from the championship.
Same coach,
Well, the
Vincent
same coach,
Kompany.
same coach. Vincent Company is the same coach.
right?
He's-
Company,
Yeah,
fair,
first time in the Prem.
as a coach.
As a coach, great.
But he's at least played in the league.
God damn it! I knew you see your face doing this, and now I have to do this in person.
But he's the same coach, right?
No, he is the same coach. I mean,
I mean,
it's new team in the Premier League.
They
Vincent
played
Company's
one
never
game for
coached.
some reason.
So they played one fucking game. Well, they had the Luton
Because of
Town
Luton,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
they're
So-
owned by JJ Watt and his wife now, right? Or partially owned. Not JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, JJ Watt.
Yep.
So what's the worst that could happen? What have the Texans ever done?
I don't know, but Jesus,
What?
you just we got some triggered people.
Gave Jimmy some good dip, right?
That's fair.
Actually,
Right.
the Texans.
I don't think the
went to
Houston
see. I went to
Texans
see
did
Watt.
that,
I walked
but-
in there, play the Texans one year, and Mark Brunell set the consecutive passes record.
Mark
That game.
Brunell.
Yeah.
Nice shot there.
Like 28 consecutive passes.
But now we're getting off. I
Totally
put it-
getting
Anywho,
off topic. Yeah.
We're going back to Burnley.
Are the Commanders changing their name, by the way?
Nah, I don't know. Ask Magic Johnson.
Love to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
We'll reach
going
out
back
to
to
you.
Burnley, I'm more worried about Fulham. Fulham just drew with Arsenal.
I'm sorry,
And,
can you
well, that's-
repeat that?
that-
for
that's an
the
accomplishment.
audience?
Fulham just drew with Arsenal.
Where did they?
Which is why no.
Where were they playing? Were they North London?
So here's here's the. I'm not here to shit on our Arsenal friends who are here,
Nor should you.
nor should I.
That would be disgusting. I
My
would
friend,
leave.
my friend Will is sitting right over here. He's my co-host on my other podcast. I would like not to lose him as a co-host.
Well,
So,
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not as easy. I know they would,
They're not,
especially
they're
when
not
they
the
score on
Scott,
a second minute.
not the Scott Parker Fulham is what you're telling me, right?
But not.
So I'm really more worried about Fulham. I think that Ange is coming here to not only revive the squad, they gotta be around me. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
But to
live show, you wanted a live audience, you know?
There we go.
Are you gonna discriminate against all of our guests?
no, I'm not.
I-
I love the cockerel on your shoulder. That's beautiful how that's.
I got a cock on my shoulder.
Yeah.
It's great. So yeah, so they just drew with Arsenal, which means they probably defend well. Arsenal is a tough attack. As much as we want to shit on Arsenal for the draw against Fulham,
that's
we
not
all
this
know
podcast.
we all know that Arsenal is a tough team. They have a strong attack, which means that Arsenal defends or that Fulham defends well,
Even with 10 people.
even with 10 people.
Especially with 10 people.
Especially with 10 people. When they equal.
Us.
But no, the point is that I think that we're going to go into this cup match, this league cup match, and Fulham's going to give us all we got, all we can handle. But the problem is that we're going to be using probably a lot of subs because we have that fixture congestion that you see when you get into the FA Cup, when you get into Carabao
Teams
Cup.
in Europe have to contend.
And
with.
then teams in Europe like Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, we get it.
How many, we have like 37 players on the
So-
squad or something crazy like that.
You saw Man U's performance today though, so they're in Europe too, so
Fair.
they're
Hey,
in the
they
big
won.
they're in the big
Technically.
technically, but
Steve, what are you thinking about looking ahead? By the way, I got a question coming up on my mind, coming your direction, Mikey.
What am I thinking about? Honestly, I'm not all that worried at this point. For one reason, and honestly, I think it's the reason that Spurs have transformed their performances recently. The goals that they've scored, they're nice. Don't get me wrong. They're not like the, sexy, greatest goals you've ever seen sort of thing. But, I was having this conversation earlier with Mike. They're simple. The players are mobile. They're moving. They're finding their space. They're going where they need to go, and they're finding each other. Keeping it simple right now is working to their benefit. And that is why I'm not particularly worried about Fulham. I'm not particularly worried about Burnley. I just think that their Spurs are hyper focused on doing the right things and doing it well. They're not trying to be fancy. They're not trying to overdo any little thing, which is honestly, it's a big change from what we saw last season. Last season players were static. There was not a lot of off the ball movement. There was, look for Kane and see what he can do with it. Like that seemed to be the general theme when things weren't going our way. This season, we're seeing constant movement. Players are running off the ball. They're tucking in. They're going out wide. They're going diagonal. They're going straight. Like there's a lot of where is the space? What can I do with it?
Van de Ven finds himself in the box constantly.
Love that kid.
Oh man,
Love that kid.
Poro was playing on the left side at one point. Like they're making all
we have
these decisions.
true fullbacks now.
But the thing is, it's not that they're playing out of position, which honestly they are, right? They're out of position, but there's somebody there to cover for it. So, in those instances where Bournemouth were getting the ball and they were switching play and they were running up the opposite side because Poro was tucked in, you had Romero there. You had Sarr who's covering. You had Basuma who was trying to get back in there. Everybody was hustling. There was constant movement. We had players just aware of what was going on. They were playing like a team. There were no individuals out there. It was a true team performance. But for me, the biggest aspect of all of that, and the reason why I look forward and I don't think, geez, midweek fixture and then Burnley, it's they're doing the simple stuff right. They're not perfecting it.
So you're not worried at all.
No, not at all. We're not at a point where we're playing perfectly, but we're playing at a point where the team recognizes what they're supposed to be doing. And they're doing it relatively well, particularly as the game rolls on.
I'm a Spurs supporter and a Red Sox fan, so I'm definitely worried.
I don't expect that it's going to be easy. I don't expect that we're going to go and play Fulham and, it's easy win, we're progressing. I'm expecting it to be a difficult game, but I'm not expecting the performance to be bad.
Okay.
Worrying does not extend your life. It shortens your life. You know that, right?
Yeah, but
Look,
I don't see.
I just like 5 minutes ago about how I'm expecting the sky to fall because I'm a Spurs fan, right?
I know, but it's sunny.
Well, I mean,
S-O-N-N-Y.
he's in London. Like,
Steve, question for you. How do you answer the question that Mike was asking 6 months ago? Who's going to replace the Harry Kane goals?
everybody.
Yes.
It's they're sharing it. We've had how many different goal scorers now?
I think 4 different ones, right?
At least five, I
different ones.
think. We've got Basuma, Madison has scored, Sutter has scored.
Emerson Royale
Decky
scored.
Royale.
Yeah.
Decky.
I mean, it's not that we're looking to a single person to replicate Harry Kane's goals.
Who are those guys again? Decky,
Decky,
Royale.
Royale, Romero, Emerson, Sarr.
Not a single one of those players would have scored with Kane on the pitch.
Not a single of them would have
single-
scored under contract.
I think you might be
Yes,
right.
Decky
I think
maybe.
you're obviously right.
But it's, they're making it up, they're sharing the burden. And I mean, part of that is why I think what's going on with Richarlison is kind of silly. He shouldn't have that pressure on his shoulders because the team is coming together. They're doing what they need to be doing. So no, I'm not worried about what's coming up. I don't expect it to be easy. I don't expect us to win both of these games.
Okay.
But I do expect it to be a good game,
I mean,
a
it's,
confident performance,
Okay.
and I think it's gonna be fun for us to watch. And to me, that's the most important part after terrorist football for God knows how many years.
Terrorist football.
hey, Steve, I want to ask a question.
Terrorist football.
Okay, Dave,
And Steve, I'm wondering if we might be able to do a little crossover question.
a crossover question.
Crossover.
What are you thinking, Dave?
I'm wondering if Mike,
It's like it's scripted, right?
if Mike's fellow podcast host Will might be prepared to ask the question that I have in my mind right
I
now.
bet he doesn't. I bet he doesn't know. He doesn't listen to
He
this
has
podcast.
no idea what you're talking about, Dave.
So I'm throwing you a curveball here.
But I don't have a question. I'll answer, but.
All right. So sorry, Will. Tried to bring you in, but you just weren't ready. It's okay.
It's fine, but we do have a question, and it is an important one.
Spencer might know.
He might
Spencer
know.
might.
Spencer, you could probably ask this question.
Audience participation, here we go.
Yeah, speak loud.
Nice,
speak loud.
nice and loud for the people.
But you might come up to the mic. Yeah, get right up to them.
Here we go. So that's everybody.
Spencer, hey.
What you drinking?
Oh, Spencer.
Spencer, I love when you ask that
He
question.
sure does. He does.
He loves it when anybody.
Here's the
asks
thing,
that question.
I have this sticker on my koozie here. It's Kulisevsky's son Kane. It's the number 10. I just told Steve I'm gonna scratch this off and put Madison on there.
Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody will know. The hair color is the same. The same. They have the same haircut. It's nice. Except Madison is, I think, better at passing.
He's something. That's for sure.
This beer is from Hermit Thrush Brewery. Everybody knows that I'm not a big fan of sours, but
Also,
I've been
fruit
getting
is
into them lately. This is the party jam. It's the blackberry. So it's a kettle sour wild ale with blackberry. It's a fruited ale.
It's like a Victoria's Secret beer.
Well, that was what was so appealing to Mike.
Welcome to Brattleboro, Vermont. I'm gonna pour this into this big giant Pilsner glass. This Pilsner glass, I did not steal it from the 99 restaurant. For
Why would you say?
Because you'd have to admit you went to the 99 restaurant.
No.
the originator of the bonus. Come on, man.
Seriously, was
Rutland
anybody
Town?
thinking, oh, he stole that glass from 99? He volunteered that, which tells me he definitely stole
Totally.
that.
I don't think
When
it
it's
is.
a corporation, it's not.
In fact,
It's a club.
in fact, when we get done with this podcast, I'll bring you inside and show you the glassware in my cabinet in there.
All
And
stolen.
98% of it is stolen.
Five finger discount, man.
Okay,
It's
This-
free 99.
$3.99. This beer pours similar to what the can looks like.
You say so.
Similar, I said. Why is that? Jesus Christ. Again, in person, we're doing this.
Not seeing it, but yeah.
Um,
It's like a Killian's Red to me.
Achilles red. It
Yes.
doesn't- Okay, let's just get into this. I'm not a giant fan of sours, but I have to do it because Steve has been
What have I been?
relentlessly just hammering Hermit Thrush down our throats for
Mike
2
loves-
years now.
Mike loves
Every
fruity beers,
single
doesn't he?
time. Yeah, that's
He loves beers with fruit.
yeah.
It smells like a wild
fruit
ale.
and
It
beers?
smells like a wild ale.
Look, if I want
Brent
sponsors,
Namias,
right?
I'm gonna
If
say
Hermit
it. I'm gonna
Thrush
say it out
comes
loud.
in-
Brent Namias, everybody. It's what makes the wild ale. It's the
Who's Brent Namias?
he unfortunately
Quarterback for the Packers?
no, he was relegated a couple years ago with Norwich.
Brent Namias.
He's Belgian. It's fine.
Oh, Toby,
Toby, yeah.
There we
Toby,
go.
sure.
we got it. We figured it out.
All right. I'm just gonna take a drink of this because this has gone on too long.
Do you like having like 15
Watch the
people
face.
watch you do this? It's pressure.
Peer pressure.
The
Holy
first-
shit.
Okay, the first reaction says a lot.
So Steve has had this before
Yep.
and he wasn't lying. It's fucking sour.
There's sours and then there's Hermit Thrush sours. These are just they're fucking sour.
So we're
This
under-
beer does like
Under 4 for sure.
the second that you drink it, it goes into your mouth and rips your face apart. And as it's going down your throat, it's like, hey, I'm fun. This is fun. We're having a lot of fun here.
So good.
I actually like this beer. It tastes good. I think I just took a giant gulp of
You like it or you love it?
I like it a lot.
Look,
I don't like
they're good, but they are sour, man. They are sour.
super sour. Our friend Nikki Winks just showed up.
He
with
was
a new kit.
with the new away kit. You're looking good, brother.
He's looking good. It's a good kit. It's a good looking kit.
That's a work shirt right there.
It is a work shirt. You could go into bowling league with that thing. So this beer for me, I actually really like this beer. I think it's a really good beer. Obviously, Hermit Thrush knows what they're doing because that's all they do with sours, right?
Yep.
The can is kind of cheesy, but the beer is good. Brattleboro's weird. I love Brattleboro. I lived there for a little bit, but the place is weird. Hermit Thrush makes weird beers. I'm gonna go 3.6 on this one.
Oh, higher than expected.
Yeah.
We were thinking 3.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, your initial reaction kind of subdued it, but you.
Well, I think it was just I
crept
took
back
a
up.
giant. I took a giant
Okay,
sip of that.
but song. And that's what everybody wants, right? And we're hoping for the karaoke version.
Thinking a Limp Bizkit song myself.
Limp Bizkit.
No, it's not Limp Bizkit. I think since it's Party Jam,
Are you in the USA?
we're at the Wicked Spursy Barbecue, which is it's gonna kick off. in a minute
LMFAO Punk
here.
Rock.
It's gonna be a party in a second.
Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus.
Oh shit, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, I'm gonna go with Eddie Murphy. My girl likes
to party all the
all the time.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
My go-to trivia song request.
Oh man, you know
Great
it's
song.
a great tune.
Jimmy of a certain generation for sure.
I love that.
It is a banger, and everybody knows it. And so we're gonna go with Eddie Murphy. First time Eddie Murphy's been mentioned on the Wicked Spursy podcast in 4 years.
Likely so.
8 seasons now, 10 seasons.
Unless we ever talked about Shrek. Did we ever talk about Shrek?
We should.
No, we should
Yeah, we'll be
next
good.
time. Next time.
All right. So it's been, hey, Mike, what you drinking? Hermit Thrush, Party Jam, Blackberry, 3.6, you said?
3.6.
Eddie Murphy, my girl likes to potty all the time.
Party all the time.
That's how he actually said it, potty all the time.
Potty.
My
Uh,
girl
And
likes
next
to
week, I
like-
have to figure out how to compare our performances to Shrek. That's gonna be my goal.
Your
I
challenge.
feel like I'm
No more
validating
sentences.
some things for
All
for
Shrek.
Jimmy
Just-
right now.
Just Shrek references.
I feel like I'm validating some things for you right now.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, just the song. Like, I think Betsy's not impressed with your love of that song.
song.
Hey,
Sing.
Can I point out, Mike? We just got a question from overseas.
Ooh.
Oh,
an
we did?
overseas question.
I got a WhatsApp message from our boy
Christ.
Adam,
Hey, Adam.
Who-
Adomalist gets done 2
who
Spurs podcasts in 1 week.
nice.
Is wild.
Adam wants to know what Steve and I are drinking. So Steve, what
Fucking
what
nothing
you
right now. I was drinking
I can help
Narragansett.
you, help you.
Dude, do it.
totally.
Do the.
Adam lives near Liverpool anyway. Take it.
He does live near Liverpool.
But yes, I was drinking Narragansett. I also had this Polish beer that Mike had in his fridge. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty tasty.
The
And-
Polacks make good beer, right?
And Adam, I'm drinking a Long Trail Vermont IPA. Tasty, solid, simple.
Nobody ever
That's it.
cares what we're drinking.
Nobody
Dave.
ever
This
cares.
is
I love it.
This is nice. I have butterflies now.
I legit have 3 beers in my right now. I've got, this was 3 beers.
Always about Mike, right?
Then I have
All
this,
about-
and then I have a Long Trail Limbo as well.
Still working on that?
This is Mike's not so subtle way of saying it's hey Mike, what you drinking, not hey you losers, what are you drinking?
There you go.
The second time that's been said. now. And Dave and I recognize that it is the electric company and not just
It's
Goonies.
Goonies.
We do a new segment. What else you drinking?
And then,
And then
hey, I think, guys, what do you think? The audience is not ready for this, but I'm wondering if we should invite some audience participation. And if anyone has a comment or question that they want to throw at any of us,
oh,
like we let them throw.
Jason's got
Jason, special guest, what do you have for us, sir?
On today's game, actually, subbed out all 3 midfielders by, after we got 2 goals, we were up 2-0.
yes.
Was that,
Felt scary, sort of, right?
Was that like tryouts for Ange or was it just rest?
So
Midfield?
this is such a good question.
Great question.
So it just in case the mic didn't pick it up, Jason from our audience is asking about the
Special guest.
special guest, triple midfield sub, and what was going on there. So awesome question. The fact that Sar went first was interesting. I think that one in particular was trying to steady things a little bit. At that point, Bournemouth were really going at it. They were trying to apply the pressure, and we needed to bring somebody on to alleviate a lot of that. So I think that's where Højbjerg really plays to his strengths. You know, he's good at getting in there and being disruptive. Maybe not necessarily as progressive as Sarr or as attacking minded, but it was something that we needed. The other two, Basuma was on a yellow, and this ref, as all Premier League refs, I think every single person here, regardless of the team, will agree that Premier League refs are trash. And you can never expect what they're going to do.
Right.
So Basuma has to come off. We need him. You know,
Right.
he's pivotal. And then Madison, injury. Just a week ago, I was shocked that he started at all. So for me, that was let's bring him off. You know, we're in a good spot. He's done his part. Let's get Lo Celso in here and give him some time. I think it was incredibly smart. And honestly,
Did I just hear come on?
it wasn't until maybe like 5 or 10 minutes after that final sub where I realized, oh crap, like all of our midfielders have subbed off.
He's a Man U fan.
It was confidence. Like I didn't feel like we really
My
lost a
body.
step. They took it to the team. They did what they were supposed to do. They settled things down. That second goal really took the wind out of Bournemouth's sails.
Sure.
But the guys that were out there, Lo Celso in particular, I think did a really decent job with what he was expected to do. He was floating around. He was trying to pick those passes.
He did a solid job.
He did a
didn't
solid job.
shine, but he did
You
a
know,
solid.
Well, none of them did, none of them were exceptional to the point where it's like, why isn't this guy starting? But all of them showed up and they did what they needed to do to see out the game. So I think it was incredibly smart from Ange to do what he did.
That's what you got? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Great.
sure. I don't
Nice
disagree with any of
analysis,
it. I actually do disagree a little bit. I think Lo Celso looked lost out there.
So,
I
But I mean,
kind of agree with
it's-
that too, Mike.
It's
He-
due to the fact
he
that he's been loaned out.
Yeah.
He's not been
No.
invited back into the team. There's a lot of factors there.
I think he just played different than what we're expecting from Madison, which doesn't necessarily mean he was lost. He was
Okay.
just doing something,
Madison's been
Different.
bouncing around. All right.
unexpected. Was it the right thing to do? I'll give you that maybe there were times where, he was probably doing something that, we didn't want to see at that particular time in the game, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was wrong.
Okay.
It just wasn't, it was not what we were expecting because Madison's played this whole time. Those were the first minutes for Lo Celso in the league.
That's
Yep.
true in a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very long time.
So I'm willing to cut him that slack. I didn't think he was bad. Decent's the word I would use. 6, 7 out of 10, no problem.
Fair.
Just like Big Daddy Davies, Mr. 7 out of 10.
Nice.
And I mean, Sar, I just have to mention Sar because the kid is 103 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Soaking wet. He goes out there, he puts in a shift, he works really hard. He's the next Musa Dembele, apparently. I see Nicky Winks out there. I gotta really point out, sorry, we didn't mention him at all today, and I think that the kid goes out there, he puts in a shift, he works very, very hard, and he's so good on the ball.
Does Sar put in a shift and work very hard?
Yes,
Okay, just check.
twice.
Okay, but does he put in a shift? Is he a hard worker? That's the crux of the issue, right?
My point is that he was written off by Conte last year
Yeah, absolutely.
as being
So
too small, as
everybody-
being too small.
I think we can all agree
As-
on Conte.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just saying.
We love you, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have another question from the audience? Anybody got something just burning
Arsenal fan.
up their minds?
I feel like I'm bookended by Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
That, by the way, your kid is stupid.
No, it's not.
Your
That
kid
one's
is not
nice.
dope.
That's a great, the
I'll-
black one is solid.
Yeah.
Dude, the black,
Yeah,
the black and gold.
stick.
I told you this before. I don't like the red sleevey thingy.
This is the best Puma did.
Look,
I like yeah, raw. Remind myself of the worst time. This is my mood. The kid I'm wearing.
That one. I also need to mention that my co-host Will, his wife is
the most comfortable person at this point. She's like rocking and stuff. She's got a chair set up. It's great. It's great. Anybody else have any questions?
Real quick.
Did SAR put in a shift today?
That's a great question.
After he went really hard.
Oh, follow-up question.
Okay, so Sar put in a shift today.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Follow up, is he a hard worker?
Is he a hard worker, Mike?
He is a hard worker. In fact, he is electric.
Like, boogie, boogie, boogie.
Yeah. All right. So
That was a great question.
Great answer.
All right, let's move on, boys. We are, believe it or not, we're approaching the witching hour. So let's start to think about closing thoughts. Steve, you first. What's on your mind, closing thoughts?
I am shocked the sun is out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
we're gonna move this part of the backyard.
this is surprising.
I have
look.
I have 3 horseshoes.
You know, I've said it 1,000 times at
Out
this
of 4.
point.
Not bad.
As a Spurs fan, we can't have nice things, right? Like it's just not allowed, right? We had our generational talent who left us without a trophy, can't have nice things, right? We're among friends, for the most, looking at you, Mike. There's a piece of meat in that fridge over there
There
that is
is.
calling our names. I'm
In the
feeling-
fridge, not around it.
I am feeling pretty, yeah, Nick is a piece of meat.
No, Will is definitely a piece of meat.
Oh, White Claw Nick over there.
White Claw Nick.
We're getting sued on. This is that fucking Spanish guy all over again.
The kisser?
The kids.
Yeah.
It was consensual. Nobody fucking knows that,
consensual.
dude.
Except for the girl that you did it to.
But
Anything else closing
Look,
thoughts, aside from the fact
it's-
we deserve nothing but horrid outcomes? What
yes,
else?
but there's a but there, a big but. Not talking about.
Other brothers can't deny either, right?
It looks great out. We're gonna have a great party after this. I am very excited. Looking forward to the rest of the evening, afternoon. I don't even know what time it is right now, but
Perfect.
is
Well put.
No, this is good shit.
It's 4:19.
that evening or afternoon?
Michael, owner of this beautiful estate, what are your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts are these. I want to thank everybody for coming here.
Even me?
Even you, especially you, Steve. I
That's
I
fine.
love having you around. I love having Dave around, especially from where are you in Vermont?
Basically like Massachusetts for
Okay, yeah, Massachusetts. I love having all my Spurs friends around. I love having
He
I love
qualified it. I was happy to just say we've got friends around.
That all my Spurs friends.
I love having my Arsenal friends around, Liverpool friends.
How about the
Kamal,
United guy?
contributor in our first
Little
season.
team you were over there, I don't know.
Shows up. It's got to be a Rashford shirt. Yeah. That's the dopest shirt Manu's ever put out. But I want to thank everybody. I don't have any other final thoughts other than Spurs got a couple games coming up in this week, and it's the only fixture congestion we can talk about this year. Since we don't have, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere outside of England. So I just want to thank everybody for being here. And in a few, we're gonna take this party out back. I think we're gonna take this tent out back and set up some tables, and we'll have the barbecue, and we'll have some good conversation, play some games, have some fun, have some laughs.
Very good.
Dave, I do have one other thought.
Let's hear it.
It's about SAR. All right. He's a hard worker.
He put in a shift.
He did put it in.
God damn it! I can't wait to watch this back, or let's do it back. How many times did I say that?
Like 12?
So far. I mean,
It's-
we're not
it's-
done yet.
It's the 3 bush lights and the
It's
limbo
the-
and the
The Bush Light Stein for sure.
and
All right, hey,
the party jam.
We're gonna wrap it, boys. To our loyal listeners, we appreciate you. To our fantastic audience, we appreciate you. Gentlemen, I appreciate and love you both. And as we wrap up, Steve, what would you say to people?
Don't be an asshole.
And Mike, how about you?
Guys, it's crazy out there.
Boys,
You know?
boys.
It's crazy out there. So I just want everybody out there listening, the 2 of us that are listening, myself and Adam probably.
I'm not.
No, you're not. just be safe and
Sports football.
Tottenham Hotspur action. It's Ange Task.